Hi, this is Kevin Senapati-Ratna from Christ Connection, and I'm super excited to come to you today and share part of my story that has been in my heart for years. You may not know, but I was a missionary kid. I spent part of my childhood overseas as a missionary kid doing what missionary kids do, and it impacted my heart for missions and all that God does around the world. Interestingly enough, at that same time, my wife, who has spent all her childhood in the United States, but God was putting in her heart for what he would do around the world. And so when we started this ministry in 2005, as we're figuring that out, even at that point, we wrote in the bylaws to be a support and encouragement to missionaries and their spouses, because that's been our desire and our heartbeat. And now is the time. God has opened some doors for us. I mean, we took some steps, kind of trying here, trying there. Now God has opened the door for us to do what was been on our heart all along. We have a desire to take 2 to 3 trips a year overseas to be, one, an encouragement to missionaries. 2, to pray on site with insight, to kind of be at those strategic moments, strategic places, and raise up prayer for those things, just kind of like the Air Force overseas. As the people, the missionaries are doing the work on the ground, we're kind of raising that air support for them. So praying on site with insight, and 3, teaching on prayer. We have had that opportunity over the years to go to different places around the world and teach on prayer. And now we just want to make it part of our regular routine, 2 to 3 trips a year overseas to encourage missionaries, pray on site with insight, and teach on prayer. And I understand the power of this. When you think about coming alongside of missionaries, wouldn't the devil love to take out missionaries that are on the front line? 42% of the world have yet to receive the gospel for the first time, and missionaries are trying to change that. And so if he can take out missionaries, he wins. And so actually, one of my friends, Dave Jacobs, told me that 71% of missionaries who come off the field come off for preventable reasons. And one of those is discouragement. And so we want to come alongside of them and be a support and an encouragement to them. I remember when I was a missionary kid, we loved the mail. As a matter of fact, I have here a card that I received from home because it was such an encouragement to me, because I don't keep a lot of my stuff from childhood, but this I got, a card from home. Proverbs 25:25 says, like cold water to a weary soul is good news from a distant land. That card was like a cup of cold water for me. And what this ministry and this expanded ministry we're looking to do overseas is to be a cup of cold water for missionaries around the world. And the beauty of a cup of cold water, Jesus had something to say about that. He said, if you give a cup of cold water in my name, you won't lose a reward. And so this is strategic, powerful ministry that we're wanting to step through. And God's equipped us for this moment. Since 2005, we've been working behind the scenes, encouraging pastors, and now we're adding overseas to that with the gifts that God has already given us. We've been teaching on prayer since 2005, and now teaching that internationally 2 to 3 times a year. And our platform of being part of the national leadership in the United States on prayer gives us a platform to come alongside and be an encouragement to missionaries and key leaders around the world at strategic times. And so we want to step through this, and I'd ask a couple things from you. First of all, I'd ask you to pray. We're a prayer ministry, and this is like I've already said a couple times, the enemy doesn't want this. And so we need you to pray us into those locations, pray us through the door, pray that it would become a reality. Second, I'd ask you to consider giving. We are looking to raise up a monthly support base so that when we come back, we're not just raising for the next trip. We can dive back into our ministry, teaching on prayer, encouraging pastors, national leadership on prayer. So we just can dive right back in and go to the next trip when it comes. So would you consider becoming a monthly supporter of this? Maybe you as an individual would come alongside, $10, $25 a month, whatever the Lord would have. Or maybe you're a church and you want to add us as one of your missionaries overseas to be part of all that God is doing for you overseas. I'd love to have you check it out at christconnection.cc and then just click on the donate button. Again, that's christconnection.cc and click on the donate button and you'll find out how to get involved. I'm excited for what God would do through us and through you as we step through this door. God bless you.